Welcome to my channel. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most explosive, expensive, and strategically complex transfer sagas in the history of modern football. We aren't just talking about a player moving from one club to another. We are discussing a global treasure hunt for a clinical predator who looks like he was engineered in a football laboratory. He is Erling Braut Haaland, the Norwegian giant who turned the transfer market into an all-out battlefield for the world's wealthiest clubs. From Dortmund to Madrid, Manchester to Barcelona, everyone wanted a piece of him, but only one could claim the prize. This is the full, unfiltered story of the most insane transfer war in history. Hashtag the genesis of phenomenon. To understand why the world's elite clubs were willing to lose their minds over one man, we have to look at the Haaland anomaly. Haaland isn't just a talented striker. He is a physical freak of nature. Since his early days at Molde under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he displayed an impossible combination: the explosive speed of an Olympic sprinter and the raw power of a heavyweight boxer. However, the world truly took notice during his stint at Red Bull Salzburg. Imagine a teenager scoring 9 goals in a single U20 World Cup match. Then, he carried that momentum into the UEFA Champions League, when he netted a first-half hat-trick against Genk in just 45 minutes of his debut. Scouts from every major club didn't just take notes. They closed their books. They had seen enough. They knew this wasn't a fluke. It was the future of the sport. Hashtag the Dortmund masterstroke. Haaland's decision to join Borussia Dortmund in January 2020 was a tactical masterpiece of career planning. Dortmund is world-renowned as a talent factory, a place where young stars are given massive minutes in a high-octane attacking system. But the real poison pill for the rest of Europe was hidden in the fine print of his contract. A release clause of approximately €60 million, set to become active in 2022. In the context of the modern market, that figure was an insult. For a player of Haaland's caliber, €60 million was like buying a brand new Ferrari for the price of a used sedan. His late agent, the legendary Mino Raiola, deliberately set this low bar to ensure that by the summer of 2022, Haaland would hold all the leverage. Dortmund agreed because they knew even 2 years of Haaland would guarantee goals and a massive eventual profile. Hashtag the peak of the conflict, the 2022 World Tour. As the 2022 deadline approached, the drama reached a fever pitch. Erling's father, Erling Haaland, and Mino Raiola embarked on a legendary world tour. In the span of 48 hours, they were spotted in Barcelona, then Madrid, then London. It was a psychological masterclass, putting every club on notice that the bidding had begun. The Barcelona desperation. Joan Laporta tried to sell a dream. Despite Barcelona's crippling debt, he wanted to prove they were still a superpower. He pitched a vision of Haaland as the son of a new solar system at the new camp, filling the void left by Lionel Messi. But behind the scenes, the math never added up. The Real Madrid ambition. Florentino Perez wanted to build the new Galacticos. The plan was terrifying. Pair Kylian Mbappe with Erling Haaland. Real Madrid had the prestige and the history, but they had one hurdle. Karim Benzema was in the form of his life. Haaland didn't want to be a second option, or wait for a legend to retire. Hashtag why the others fell short. Many wondered about Manchester United. They desperately needed a striker and had the Solskjaer connection. However, United balked at the Raiola tax and the idea of a release clause. They didn't want to be a stepping stone for a player who might leave again in 3 years. Meanwhile, in Germany, Bayern Munich played it cool. They considered breaking their entire wage structure to replace Robert Lewandowski with Haaland. But Bayern's traditional financial discipline caused them to hesitate. And that hesitation was the opening Manchester City needed. Hashtag Manchester City, the surgical strike. While Madrid and Barcelona were making headlines, Manchester City moved like a ghost in the night. Pep Guardiola had spent a season playing without a true striker, but he knew that to conquer the Champions League, he needed a clinical killer. City had 3 aces in their hand. 1. Financial might. They could easily trigger the clause, pay the agent fees, and offer a salary that made him one of the highest-paid athletes in the UK. 2. The father-son connection. Alfinga wasn't just an advisor. He was a former City captain, Photos of a young Erling in a City kit began to flood social media, building a powerful narrative of destiny. 3. Tactical perfection * City created more chances than any team on earth. The pitch to Haaland was simple. You don't need to chase the ball, just stand in the box, and Kevin De Bruyne will find you. Hashtag the aftermath, shattering the Premier League. When the official announcement came in the summer of 2022, the football world felt a shift in the tectonic plates. The war was over, and City had won. Critics asked, can he handle the physicality of England? Or will he fit Pep's system? Haaland answered with a violence of goals. He didn't just adapt, he conquered. He broke the single-season scoring record in his debut year, led City to a historic treble, and turned world-class defenders into memes. Hashtag the legacy of the war. The Haaland War taught us that in modern football, generational talents are no longer just athletes. They are strategic assets. They can shift the economy of a league and the destiny of a club overnight. The scramble for his signature was chaotic, expensive, and filled with ego. But looking at the trophy cabinet in Manchester today, it's clear. He was worth every penny and every minute of the madness. The saga of Erling Haaland is a reminder that when elite talent meets a perfect plan, history is written in goals. The war may be over, but the reign of the Viking has only just begun. Do you think he will stay at City forever? Or is a move to Real Madrid still inevitable in the future? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. See you next video.